So yeah, the Angel Reese situation is getting crazy to the extent where this is far from over. This is far, far, far from over. When is the next time the Atlanta Dream play a game? Tonight. Oh, this is gonna be grim. This is gonna be grim, and I'm not reporting on it till after the World Cup final. The World Cup final's on in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna be real. I am watching the World Cup final, not looking at my phone during it, and hopefully watching Lionel Messi, the greatest to ever do it by so much, win another World Cup. That's on hope. But Sandy Brondello, she obviously talked before it, and I'm very glad that she mentioned, I apologize to Angel. I want to put that out as soon as I woke up and reached out to her. And I reached out to Atlanta's GM, asked him to speak to Angel because she doesn't really know me very well. I have a ton of respect to her, yada, yada. I want to make sure that it was a heated, emotional statement and that it's a statement very common in Australia and it wasn't directed to Angel. I've never done that to any kind of player. That's not the kind of coach I am, nor the player was back in the day. It's just unfortunate. I was being pretty emotional, yada, yada. And then she said here, I should have took a breath and realized where I am and what it's like in America because I know racism is such a big issue here. Let's be very clear. When it came to Sandy Brondello, she is Australian. Anyone who's from a certain country, especially when you go to America where every word is what you call it, is picked apart. As somebody who again is from Ireland, I've been called out for using the Irish language. I used to speak a lot of Irish on my streams because when I was younger, I was genuinely a fairly competent Irish speaker. So I would randomly just get bored and start throwing in sentences of Irish, and I got called out because an Irish word sounded like another word. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, fair enough to apologize to Angel. And part of it should have been, look, didn't realize what I was saying. It's a common phrase there. Obviously, we're in America. That's not right. And Sandy Brondello said it perfectly because let's be clear again. A lot of people are like, oh, she shouldn't apologize to Angel. Look, if somebody takes major offense to something you say, even if it's not meant in that way, and you respect that person, you're going to apologize. You're going to apologize. Like, it is what it is. I want to apologize whenever Angel's ready. I reached out to their organization. So basically, as this is all happening, Angel Reese is doing this. And this is why... So Angel Reese, while Sandy Brondello's trying to reach out to apologize, Angel Reese is out here tweeting that she's a clown and that so many young girls can learn how Angel Reese stands up for herself and retweeting and hearting that. And I'm like, what do you mean standing up for yourself? Taking offense to a comment, which she has every right to do. I'm not saying how Angel Reese can take or not take offense. But while that person is reaching out to literally every single person around you trying to apologize, you're there tweeting that she's a clown and then retweeting saying that, oh, this is how you stand up for yourself. That's not standing up for yourself. I'm sorry, calling someone a clown on social media is not standing up for yourself. At the end of the day, you don't have to accept an apology. But like, come on. This is not the first, second, third, or fourth time that Angel Reese has weaponized her social media against somebody. This is not. Like, this is a common outcome. And you better believe she's gonna heavily imply Sandy Brondello's a racist next time she speaks. You better believe she does. She is. And that's Sandy's career. Sandy's done. Like, Sandy Brondello is done. I'm sorry, you do not escape being branded as a racist in this league. Let's be very fucking clear. You do not escape that. You're done. If that is what you are branded as, you are done. Sandy's career is done because she's Australian. It is simply put comes down to that. And any reasonable person, I'm very sorry. Like, I have been called, again, every single fucking slur imaginable for an Irish person. Not comparing it to being called an actual slur for a person of color in America. But at the end of the day, I've been called awful names, people not realizing what they've done. And I'm like, I'll get angry at the time, but it's like, okay, shit, you didn't realize. Okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, you don't say that again. And I have no guarantee Sandy Brondello won't. But let's be very clear. Angel Reese has had how much, if you type in any sports person, see protected species. But Angel Reese, of course, as well, quote tweets the one calling her a clown, where someone didn't even give the full context. Someone said Sandy referred to her as a species. If Sandy Brondello came out and called Angel something like that species, then yes, absolutely. She said something extreme. She very much implied something racist. Get her the fuck out of the league. She didn't do that. But that's what Angel Reese fucking quote tweeted calling her a clown. Angel Reese just quote tweets shit on social media and sends her fucking hate brigade after people. And even Sandy Brondello's gone out of her way. As much as you can, I've contacted literally everybody around her trying to apologize. I want to apologize. I'm trying to talk to her and she's just ignoring. She just won't do that while she's fucking tweeting shit about her. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we fucking doing? That's how you make this story, which should have been a nothing burger, into a massive, huge story. And I'm like, I'm looking at this now and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the actual fuck's going on? And again, Angel plays in what? An hour or two? You've got all the Australian pages. You've got all these massive, big Australian basketball pages, like, complaining to Angel Reese, and they're like, look at this. And you've got the dumbass Angel Reese fans that are like, somebody show me an Australian media person talking about a basketball player using protected species. And they're there quoting like 100 different news articles of calling Australian football players like, yeah, but that's not basketball. It doesn't count. I'm like, are you fucking dumb? These people are dumb. It doesn't really matter. Because none of the basketball matters. Because ironically, what we should be talking about when it comes to Angel Reese is the fact that she is legitimately playing like a top 15 player in the league. Maybe top 10. She is on track to maybe, if she steps up, especially how she's been playing the last few weeks, she's on track to make an all WNBA team. Let's be very clear. She is. She's been the second best player for the Atlanta Dream this year. But none of that matters. None of that matters because everything has to be a huge thing. Everything has to be a massive thing. Like, Sandy Brondello did not say, and Sandy Brondello, let's be very clear. Let's be very fucking clear. If Sandy Brondello saying something wrong is like saying two Spanish people talking to each other in Spanish, saying, pointing at somebody and saying the guy in the black t-shirt is racist. Let's be very clear. And again, people are like, oh, action should have consequences. If Sandy Brondello said something racist, she should be kicked out of the league. It's as simple as that. If Angel Reese deemed, like, it makes no sense. And this situation is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse because in every situation, even if it's nothing, Angel Reese throws gasoline on the flames. She did the same shit last year with the investigation. Angel Reese comes out after the game, says nothing. And she's there reposting. She's reposting videos saying that people made extremely racist animal noises at her in Indiana. She's reposting those videos. She's reposting Coach Jackie's videos saying that the WNBA needs to do something about the Indiana fever because it's unsafe for black players to go to Indiana. She's retweeting that. She's reposting that. While everyone knew within 10 minutes of the accusations that were false because someone claimed to be at the game, it was a noise that was heard on TV, not at the game, and it was a fucking dolphin noise. People had the footage within 5 minutes. 3-4 days later, WNBA had their investigation. The WNBA said they found nothing, and Angel Reese is still claiming they chatted racist noises at her. She heard nothing. Her fucking team's going out saying they heard it. No one heard it. Because let's be very clear. Angel Reese is absolutely subjected to more racism than almost anybody. And I will never deny that. I will never deny that. But I'm sorry, this is Boy That Cries Wolf situation. And I don't even know if me just mentioning that, saying that is now, my fucking deep as racist in this shit. Like, this is mental. Like, I made videos in this channel talking about basketball. I made videos about talking about basketball. And this is the weirdest shit ever. I don't get it. I don't understand any of this. Because I'm like, there are so many awful, awful things that have been said to Angel Reese. Angel Reese, I think, has dealt with people following her person. That's fucking awful. But why is it then that when there are nothing burgers, she goes and she was retweeting anti-Candace Parker things on the day of her jersey retirement and refused to wear the t-shirt. Do you want to know what Candace Parker has said about Angel Reese? I shit you not. This is the extent of what Candace Parker did. In a tier list of 10 players, she put her in the bottom tier with Cameron Brink. With 10 players, 8 All-Stars. And while putting her in that tier, said, I don't think she's quite there yet, but Angel Reese could be an MVP candidate at some stage in her career. She put her, and it was one tier too low. Because, by the way, it was one tier below Paige Bueckers. One tier below Paige Bueckers, which Angel Reese probably 3 tiers below Paige Bueckers as a player. 1 tier below Paige Bueckers. She underrated all the young players. She put Caitlin Clark a tier lower than she should have been. She put Paige a tier lower. And she put Angel a tier lower. She underrated all the young players and put fucking Enrique up there with an MVP candidates. She basically put the vets all way higher than they should have been and put young players all way lower. It is what it is. And because of that, Angel Reese is there retweeting shit about how she stole Candace Parker's vet and Candace is just jealous of her on the day of her fucking jersey retirement. Like, what are we doing? Again, reposting saying the Gamebridge is unsafe for black players based on nothing. And then again, retweeting calling Sandy Brondello clown, reposting people saying that she went about the right way, while Sandy's doing everything she can to reach Angel to try apologize to her in person, and she's just airing her. Like, I'm sorry, what the fuck are we doing now? What are we doing? And again, if Sandy Brondello actually said something racist and Angel didn't want to hear any apology or anything, and that's grand. That is absolutely fine if Sandy actually did. She retweeted something, completely different context, to make it seem like what Sandy said was 100 times worse. Sent her fucking hate mob after Sandy. And then when Sandy's basically trying to contact her, and in what is, I'm not even going to say it's a misunderstanding, like, it is one of these situations where it's like, normally when calmer heads prevail, people are like, oh, you know what, maybe I reacted badly, that's sorry. Like, even, it should be a thing where it was like, where Sandy's like, look, didn't realize what I said. It's a common phrase in Australia. I apologize, and I understand how you could take offense to that. Which I can guarantee you, she's gone on a fucking 5-minute long apology to Angel Reese. And Angel Reese is just like, nah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, and the fact is that it should probably, like, in a normal human being interaction in that scenario, is like, not, and I'm not even going to say Angel overreacted, because at the end of the day, you can react however the hell you want to whatever the hell you want. Especially when you don't understand the full context. But it's like she gets her context for everything off fucking Twitter. And again, she's there posting, being like, oh, this person's the president of, the Reese's Piece, and that person's there fucking threatening people. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? Like, it's at the stage now where, I mean it, if Angel Reese deemed what Sandy Brondello said was racist, Angel Reese needs to come out and basically call out the fucking league that they haven't kicked Sandy Brondello out. At that stage, if that's the stage, you're like, okay, cool, stand on fucking business. Sending a hate mob after and not listening to any apologies and just being like, oh yeah, trying to be a perpetual victim, when at the end of the day, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like, Sandy Brondello made a statement that was a nothing statement. Angel Reese looked on Twitter and saw the way Twitter reacted and said a hate mob at Sandy. And then it's just, it's just nothing. And the worst part about this, Angel's fucking brilliant. She has been brilliant this season. But yeah, all people, everything with Angel Reese now, you've got send the Australians after you. They despise her. The Australians literally out here despise Angel Reese. Like, what are we doing?